Kevin. I'm sad not to see you in person. See you here, but thank you for your taking your time for your speech. A couple things that you did well. I think that I love personal stories, Kevin. So thank you for starting your speech out with a personal story about your wife and about bowls. I think many of us can identify with things when we think about our relationships. I like how you just even tied it back at the very beginning to something you had heard to a speech before you. And you made that reference and you brought it in at the very beginning. I love the message of self-awareness and how that tied back and how you were transparent to say, here's what happened in my situation. I recognize this. Here's the pivot that I made. Here's how I changed in my communication. And then here's what the outcome was about. I like the examples of self-awareness, how you tied that back. You said that word a couple of different times, and that is a powerful message for us. So thank you for that and those things that you did very well. As far as what you might want to improve on, I would say, Kevin, the flow of your message, just giving us an opportunity to know where you're going. What is it that you're trying to communicate to us so that we can have some anticipation of this journey on speech that we're going on and what we're going to gain back from that speech. Self-awareness, very powerful. Find some opportunities to maybe develop that out, tie it back to something that we all generally understand when we have our message. Another thing to work on is maybe if you're going to be on Zoom, the eye contact that you make with your audience. There were a couple of times where you were looking in different directions, giving us that impression that maybe you were trying to do a recall of what it was that you were trying to say. And so being able to make eye contact, maybe have some practice around your message a little bit more so that you can deliver that directly to your audience, because we do like to hear from you. Your closing could use some improvement. This is a speech that it would be great if you would look at practicing it again. And how do you close it? We not dropping off when that's all I've got for you today, but how will you tie that speech up in a different way? And then my challenge to you, to practice your speed and as far as how you deliver your message. Part of that comes from practice. Get yourself a mentor. If you haven't had an opportunity to practice your speech, have a speech where you've said that speech to someone before so that they can give you some feedback up front, because sometimes what we think we're communicating, we struggle to make sure that other people know that that's what we're trying to communicate as well. So having an opportunity to practice up front. Kevin, thanks for being here, and we appreciate hearing from you today. Woo!